Bhagavatam. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Continue reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 9, Text 48. Uttamascha Dhruvas
Uttamascha Dhruva
Anyonyam Prema Vivalo
Anyunyam Prema Vipalo
Anga Sangat Utpulaka
Anga Sangat Pulaka
Asraugam Muhur Hatuho.
Asram Patu.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. The two brothers Uttam and Dhruva Maharaj also exchanged their tears. They were overwhelmed by the ecstasy of love and affection. And when they embraced one another, the hair on their bodies stood up. So the brothers have good affection among themselves. They were not involved in the family politics. That's how children are, no? The children will have the natural affection for their siblings. Sunitir asya janani
Sunati Asya Janani
anebhyo api priyam sutam
Pranebhyo Api Priyam Sutam
upaguya jahav adhim
Upaguya Adim
angasparsha nirvrita.
Tat Angasparsha
Suniti, the real mother of Dhruva Maharaj, embraced the tender body of her son, who was dearer to her than her own life, and thus forgot all material grief, for she was very pleased. Payastanabhyam susrava
Payastanabhyam Sushrava
netra jai salile shive
Netra Jaya Salile Shive
tadabhi manabhyam
Tadapi Shicyamanabhyam
vira vira suvo muhu.
Vira Vira Suvumuhu.
My dear Vidur, Suniti was the mother of a great hero. Her tears, together with the milk flowing from her breast, wet the whole body of Dhruva Maharaj. This was a great auspicious sign. When deities are installed, they are washed with milk, yogurt, and water, and this ceremony is called Abhishek, the bathing of the deity. In this verse, it has been specially mentioned that the tears which flowed down from the eyes of Suniti were all auspicious. This auspiciousness of the Abhishek ceremony performed by his beloved mother was an indication that in the very near future Dhruv Maharaj would be installed on the throne of his father. The history of Dhruv Maharaj's leaving home was that his father refused to give him a place on his lap, and Dhruv Maharaj determined that unless he got the throne of his father, he would not come back. Now, this Abhishek ceremony performed by his beloved mother was an indication that he would occupy the throne of Maharaj Uttanapad. So the mother, of course, out of her natural affection, there is tears coming from her eyes and milk is flowing from the breast, like how we hear even when Krishna would come back, you know, then Yashoda eyes would, her breasts would fill with milk, even Devki, and they would be embracing him, and then there's tears falling down, and this is all out of that intense love. So here Suniti is, by her, this activity of tears and milk, so it's like an indication, Prabhupada is saying that it's an indication that he's going to be installed as the emperor. It is also significant in this verse that Suniti, mother of Dhruv Maharaj, is described as Virasu, a mother who produced a great hero. There are many heroes in the world, but there is no comparison to Dhruva Maharaj, who was not only a heroic emperor of this planet, but also a great devotee. So heroes, there are so many heroes in history. We study about so many heroic people. But Dhruva Maharaj was all the way back in Satyug, and he's still famous. He's still famous. So his mother is like really, really fortunate to be the mother of such a great personality, a great emperor and a great devotee. A devotee is also a great hero because he conquers the influence of Maya. When Lord Chaitanya inquired from Ramananda Raya about the most famous man in this world, the latter replied that anyone who is known as a great devotee of the Lord is to be accepted as the most famous. So Lord Chaitanya was having this conversation with Ramananda Raya. Ramananda Raya is also a very confidential devotee of Lord Chaitanya. And Lord Chaitanya was putting these questions to Ramananda Raya about the highest, uh, he was asking him about the highest love for Krishna. And also he asked him, who is the most famous? And Ramananda Raya is replying, one who is known as a great devotee of the Lord is the most famous. We like to follow famous people. They are famous people, they are famous film stars. We like to follow maybe famous sports people, maybe some famous cooks, some famous, people who are famous in their field. But who's the most famous? What Ramananda Raya is saying is the one who's a great devotee, a pure devotee of the Lord, is the most famous. Tam Shasham Surjana Rajnim
Tam Sham Sujana Rajnin
Dishtyate Putra Artiha
Dishriyate Putra Artiha
Pratilabdhas Chiram Nashto
Pratilabdash Viram Nashto
Rakshita Mandalam Bhuvaha.
Rakshita Mandalam Bhuvaha.
The residents of the palace praised the queen. Dear queen, your beloved son was lost a long time ago, and it is your great fortune that he has now come back. It appears, therefore, that your son will be able to protect you for a very long time and will put an end to all your material pangs. So everyone is really happy for the queen also. Abhyarchitas Dvayanunam
Chitastvyanunam
Bhagavan Pranatartiha
Bhagavan Pranatiha
Yad Anudhyayino Dhira
Yat Anudhyayino Dhira
Mrityum Jigyu Sudurjayam.
Mrityum Jigyu Sudurjayam.
Dear Queen, you must have worshipped the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who delivers his devotees from the greatest danger. Persons who constantly meditate upon him surpass the course of birth and death. This perfection is very difficult to achieve. Dhruv Maharaj was the lost child of Queen Suniti, but during his absence, she always meditated upon the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is able to rescue his devotee from all dangers. While Dhruv Maharaj was absent from his home, not only did he undergo severe austerities in the forest of Madhuvan, but at home also he prayed to the Supreme Lord for his safety and good fortune. In other words, the Lord was worshipped by both the mother and the son, and both were able to achieve the supreme benediction from the Supreme Lord. So, when we are faced with danger, when we are faced with fear, who do we turn to? The devotee is always turning to Krishna in times of danger, in times of need, in times of panic, always. And so that's the reason the devotee is practicing. He's practicing every day so that when the time comes that he can take shelter of Krishna. And that most difficult time comes. So here both Dhruva Maharaj and the mother, they both are praying to Krishna. The word Sudurjayam, an adjective which indicates that no one can conquer death, is very significant. When Dhruva Maharaj was away from his home, his father thought he was dead. Ordinarily, a king's son, only 5 years old, and away from home in the forest, would certainly be supposed dead. But by the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, not only was he saved, but he was blessed with the highest perfection. Yeah, 5-year-old boy, he does not know how to live in the forest, how to protect himself from the wild animals, or what kind of food to eat. So for sure he would not have survived. But by the mercy of the Lord, he survived. He took shelter of the Supreme Lord, and that's how he was able to still be there, sustain his life. We can see that even Kunti Maharani, each time there was danger, she would just turn to Krishna. Each time. Lalyamanam janer evam
Lalyamanam janerevam.
dhruvam sab rataram ripaha
Dhruvam
Saprataram
aropya karinim hrishta
Arupya Karinim Rishta
stuyamano vishatpuram.
Suryamano Vishatpuram.
The sage Maitreya continued, my dear Vidur, when everyone was thus praising Dhruva Maharaj, the king was very happy. And he had Dhruva and his brother seated on the back of a she-elephant, and thus he returned to his capital, where he was praised by all classes of men. So the king is taking both the sons back home. Did anyone want to share if had any realizations while reading this whole Dhruva Maharaj was, this whole pastime of Dhruva Maharaj? Did anyone have any realizations that you wanted to share?
Like in the beginning, how he seemed as a 5-year-old helpless child who, nobody took him so seriously. Even the mother, Suruchi, just insulted him. But now we are reading that as soon as he got the realization, like he got the Krishna, he became a devotee. Now everybody's view about, because again and again we are questioning, is he 5-year-old? Is he 5-year-old? So he's still 5-year-old, but just look, the moment he became the devotee, everybody around him is filled with so much love and affection for him. Even the same mother, Suruchi, who just insulted him, is, respecting him. So that is the power of devotion and a devotee. And Krishna, in fact, that when Krishna loves you, then yes, everything. So like, that is quite amazing.
Yes, nice. Thank you.
Yeah, when Krishna loves you, everyone loves you.
Yes, that's what they have written here, right?
Right,
That
yeah.
when Krishna loves you, then yes, everyone loves you
Love
around.
you and respect you, yeah.
So, and still he's 5 years
And he's only
old.
5.
Nothing has changed.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing has changed.
True.
Nice. Very good realization. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Was there anyone else who wanted to share anything? Then we'll continue reading. Tatra tatropa shankalpter
Tatropasham
vasan makara torane
Lasan Makara Tarone
Lasat karo. Torane.
Savrinde Kadali Stambhe.
Savrinde Kadali Stambhe.
Puga
Tambe.
Potes Chatadvide.
Pukka Potesha Tatvide.
The whole city was decorated with columns of banana trees containing bunches of fruits and flowers, and betel nut trees with leaves and branches were seen here and there. There were also many gates set up, which were structured to give the appearance of sharks. Auspicious ceremonies with decorations of the green leaves of palms, coconut trees, betel nut trees, and banana trees, and fruits, flowers, and leaves are an age-old custom in India. To receive his great son Dhruva Maharaj, King Uttanapad arranged a good reception, and all the citizens very enthusiastically took part with great jubilation. So traditionally it was betel nut trees, banana trees, fruits, flowers, leaves, branches. That's how the whole city was decorated with all the auspicious items. Chut Pallava Vasashran.
Chutta Pallava Vasahan.
Mukta Dama Vilam Bibihi.
Mukta Dama Vilambibi.
Upaskritam Pratidvaram.
Upaskritam Pratidvaram.
Apam Kumbhe Sadipake.
Apam Kumbhe Sadipake.
At each and every gate, there were burning lamps and big water pots decorated with differently colored cloth, strings of pearls, flower garlands, and hanging mango leaves. So everywhere it's auspiciously decorated. Prakarer Gopuragare.
Prakare Gopuragare.
Shatakumbha Parichade.
Shatakumbha Parichade.
Sarvato Alankritam Srimad
Sarvato Alankritam Srimad.
Vimana Shikharadhyubhihi.
Vimana Shikara Dubihi.
In the capital city, there were many palaces, city gates, and surrounding walls, which were already very, very beautiful. And on this occasion, all of them were decorated with golden ornaments. The domes of the city palaces glittered, as did the domes of the beautiful airplanes which hovered over the city. Regarding the mention of airplanes here, it is suggested by Srimad Vidyadvaj Tirtha that on this occasion, the demigods from higher planetary systems also came in their airplanes to bestow their blessings on Dhruva Maharaj on his arrival at the capital of his father. So Srimad Vijayadvaj Tirtha, he is saying that demigods are also coming to welcome Dhruva Maharaj. So we just read that the most famous is a great devotee of the Lord. So Dhruva Maharaj is, of course, he had gotten so powerful. That's the reason the demigods were feeling suffocated also, no? When he stopped breathing. So, wow, everyone knows him. It also appears that all the domes of the city palaces, as well as the pinnacles of the airplanes, were decorated with ornamental work in gold and being reflected by the sunshine. They were all glittering. So it's not that before it was all Stone Age. Sometimes we see that people say, oh, man came from apes and there was all Stone Age and all that. No. In fact, before there was more opulence. There was there's palaces made of gold, and we can observe a specific distinction between Dhruva Maharaj's time and modern days. For the airplanes in those days were made of gold, whereas at the present moment, airplanes are made of base aluminum. So palaces also and the airplanes also. This just gives a hint of the opulence of Dhruva Maharaj's days and the poverty of modern times. And before, each personality had their own private aeroplane, like a private jet. We are like 300 of us in one aeroplane. The demigods, they would come in their own individual aeroplanes. Mrishcha Chatpara Rathyata
Mrishta Chatvara Ratyata
Margam Chandana Charchitam
Margam Chandana Charchitam
Lajakshate Pushpa Phales
Laja Shate Pushpa Phalesh
Tanduler Bali Bhiryutam.
Tandu Balpir Yutam.
All the quadrangles, lanes, and streets in the city and the raised sitting places at the crossings were thoroughly cleansed and sprinkled with sandalwood water, and auspicious grains such as rice and barley and flowers, fruits, and many other auspicious presentations were scattered all over the city. Dhruvaya Pati Drishtaya
Dhruvaya Pati
Pati Drishtaya
Tatra Tatra Purastriyaha
Tatra
Tatra Tatra Pura Shriyaha
Siddharthakshata Dadiyambu
Siddhartha Takshata Dadi Ambu
Durva Pushpa Falani cha
Durva Pushpa Falani cha
Upaja Ruprayunjana
Upajaru Prayunjana
Vatsalyad Ashisha Satihi
Vatsalyad Ashish Sati
Shanvamstad Valgu Gitani
Shinvams Tatvalgu Gitani
Pravishad Bhavanam Pituhu.
Pravishat Bhavanam Pitu.
Thus, as Dhruva Maharaj passed on the road, from every place in the neighborhood, all the gentle household ladies assembled to see him. And out of maternal affection, they offered their blessings, showering him with white mustard seed, barley, curd, water, newly grown grass, fruits, and flowers. In this way, Dhruva Maharaj, while hearing the pleasing songs sung by the ladies, entered the palace of his father. So he's getting a grand reception. Mahamani Vratamaye
Mahamani Vratamaye
Vratamaye
Sa Tasmin Bhavanotame
Sasmin Bhavanotame
Lalito Nitaram Pitra
Lalito
Lalito
Nitaram Pitra
Nyavasad Divi Bhavat.
Nyavasa Divide Bhavat.
Dhruva Maharaj thereafter lived in his father's palace, which had walls bedecked with highly valuable jewels. His affectionate father took particular care of him, and he dwelled in that house just as the demigods live in their palaces in the higher planetary systems. So he has so much opulence as much as the demigods, and his father is taking particular care of him. Now Dhruv Maharaj, once, when you lose someone or something very valuable, and when they come back, the attachment is even more because you lost and then you're getting it back. So then that's what the father is feeling. Vaya fena nivashaya
Maya Fena Nibhash
Pashaya
danta rukma parichadaha
Dan
Danta Rukma Parichada
asnani maharani
Asnani Maharāja
Maharanani
yatra rukma upaskaraha.
Yatra
Yatra Rukma Upaskara
The bedding in the palace was as white as the foam of milk and was very soft. The bedsteads were made of ivory with embellishments of gold, and the chairs, benches, and other sitting places and furniture were made of gold. This is the opulence Dhruva Maharaj is getting. He's a devotee, and now he's, in the forest he was doing so much austerities. Now he's getting so much opulences. Yatras. Oh yeah. Let's stop here. Did anyone have any more comments or questions?
I realized that when you turn to God, turn to the Lord, you seek His shelter, and He comes right in front of you and fulfills all your desires. He gives you more than what you want.
Yeah. So true. Yeah.
More than you
Thank you.
ask, actually. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhaktavinda ki jai. Hare Krishna.